6'3", 236 pounds, as I mentioned. In my mind, I'm thinking your body surface area and your BMI is high. It's probably close to 30, which is sort of the barrier for most people. Yeah. Do your doctors or your family ever give you a hard time about your weight?
Yeah, I think I could lose a little weight. I've always been a little bit this way, you know? I've sort of always been that. I was probably a good swimmer, but I've always been this way. I think that, yeah, if I had one thing I'd like to lose weight, it's tough because of the way I live. But the one thing I would like to do is be able to drop 15, 20 pounds.
Wouldn't we all? All right, Donald Trump telling Dr. Oz his health is good, but he needs to lose weight. His cholesterol is quite good, and he's passed every single test. That's a direct quote. And while he's been pretty quiet about Hillary's health all along, you know, he just couldn't resist at an Ohio rally. Listen.
I don't know, folks. You think Hillary would be able to stand up here for an hour and do this? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton will be back on the campaign trail this afternoon after releasing a letter from her doctor saying that she was fit to serve. Joining me right now, Republican strategist Ford O'Connell and Democratic strategist John Rowley. Ford, how much do you think candidates should have to disclose about their health?
Well, they should disclose a lot, but here's the problem. We can't trust the reports and what they disclose. As voters, we can only believe our eyes. Both candidates are old, chubby, and unathletic. Here's the problem. It's Clinton's health that is an issue, and the reason why that is because of the 9/11 video that shows her slouching. It's powerful imagery that you can't unsee, that we're probably going to see 1 billion times between now and Election Day, and that favors
Trump. You say
Trump.
Slouching. That's a very interesting choice of words. I mean, people have really debated whether or not she actually collapsed. She was caught there, but she did seem to at least lose her footing. She slouched, I suppose, to your point, and she seemed to quite nearly collapse. John, you know, Ford says you can't trust anything that anybody tells you about the health of these candidates. Do you think we need something maybe a little bit more invasive that's a little bit more independent, i.e., you know, working on behalf of the American public? I think about life insurance, right? If you're applying for a life insurance policy, they got to know everything about you. And should the American voter maybe take that same tactic, as in we are the life insurance company that needs to ensure that somebody's actually going to be there for 4 years?
Well, I would be surprised if somebody doesn't propose a law on not only health disclosure, but financial disclosure as well, and to compel the candidates. I think it's reasonable. It would be unfair for almost any other job and illegal for almost any other job in the land. But I think for president, it may well be, I think, reasonable. But I mean, Trump's line of attack on this is just a little hypocritical given his own state of health. It'd be another thing if he was a
What do you mean
strapping
line of
person.
attack?
Well, on health, I mean, the thing he was talking about earlier, and for him to say he's 6'3", 230, those are the dimensions of a pro quarterback. The guy's got to be near 300 pounds and he's overweight.
I don't know, maybe it's just all muscle. You know, muscle weighs more than fat.
Well, I think if he was smart, Trish, he would shock the Hillary campaign and pivot to issues that are most compelling.
I don't think he wants to go there on health that much, John. I don't think he wants to stay on the health issue. I mean, I think that Ford, for the most part, you know, if you take the high road and you say we wish her well and we want her to get back, I mean, for goodness sakes, he should want her to do well. If he were out there competing against Joe Biden, it might be a much harder race.
Well, one of the late night people.
John, obviously he wants to take the high road on the health, and he wants to look compassionate.
When is he taking the high road?
He's taking the high road the entire time. Trust me, if his health were an issue, you guys would be going left, right, center.
Okay, let Ford finish.
He didn't. But understand, she can't walk out there today and say she's cured. Okay, every day is going to be a hurdle for her over the next 54 that she has to power through. And he's wise to bring up the idea. Let's see if she can make it to the debates, and if she can make it through debate 1, she can make it through debate 2.
She has to make it
because
to the
remember,
debates.
if she doesn't do this and she somehow stumbles along the way, she very well could lose the presidency on this issue. And I have unique experience in this. I worked for John McCain in 2008. That guy released 12,000 pages, which was the gold standard, and it still didn't stop the Democrats from basically feeding conspiracy theories that he was going to die in office and he was too old. So
Yeah,
this
and
is a
he
game
was,
that
what,
both sides play.
71 when he was running, and Hillary Clinton will be 70 by November 8th.
That wasn't even one of the top 20 lines of attack on McCain, so that's a
No,
little
it was a biggie.
delusional.
I remember it well.
Not a
John,
biggie.
thank you.
It was a
I lived
biggie,
it.
and it
John,
was in
nice
part
try.
because the Democrats thought that, you know, they could point out his health being an issue, and thus maybe Sarah Palin would be president, and that was, you know,
Exactly.
something that they could use to sort of polarize the voting
I think we all can
bloc.
agree we need more financial and health disclosure. And I think it's interesting, though, the thing that gets lost in all this, Hillary's released 30 years of financial records. I mean,
But
if we
that's
want to
not her
talk
health.
about disclosure, let's broaden that. Nobody in the history of running
Yeah,
for
John,
president
I got
has
a lot of
released
questions
more
still. I got to tell you,
financial
on the
records.
Clinton
I'm sure you do.
Foundation, a lot of financial questions about the Clinton
But she
Foundation.
still released
and
her
I
tax
would
returns.
like
I
to
think,
know a lot more about what happened between the foundation and the State Department. I'm not saying anything did, but I think I deserve as a voter to know. Anyway, Ford and John, good to see you guys. Thank you so much.